Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Why I Meditate podcast. I am your host, Mr. Antwan Adams, and welcome. For those of you who are new, please subscribe, like, share with a friend, comment, and I look forward to connecting with you all. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Friday. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to a new segment in the first episode of this segment called Focus Friday, where we will be talking about intentionality. More specifically, I wanted to create a platform or a space, I should say, that where we could connect, and especially in terms of all of us who are entrepreneurs, especially my behavioral health and my social work entrepreneurs and business owners. I wanted a space to where we could commune and connect, one, to network and share our businesses and the projects that we have and the products and the services that we offer, but also have a space to where we can do some intention work. Along the journey of entrepreneurship, and especially in this day and age, it's a lot, right? A lot of things thrown at you, a lot of people trying to sell you things, a lot of pressure, sometimes a lot of not knowing what to do, where to go, where to start, which builds on anxiety, fear, depression, hopelessness, and a host of other negative emotions and things and feelings and thoughts that may hinder us from progressing and pursuing those goals and those ambitions that we have. So welcome to Focus Friday. So let's get right into it. So again, I am your host, Mr. Antwan. I am a social worker. I have 3 degrees. I am a Master of Social Work. I am a licensed social worker. I have a host of experience working in medical social work, working in mental health. I'm sure I've said this before, but to those of you who are new, that's where a lot of my passion behind why I meditate and mental health and mindfulness come from, being a clinician and then being a social worker. So one of the things along the journey that I have encountered, and sometimes something that has hindered me, has been fear, the fear gremlin. Oh my God. Yeah, so I want to talk about that today. And encourage you all to fear less. One of the things that has been a common thread along this journey, especially one of the things that has led me to entrepreneurship as a social worker, especially working in spaces that wasn't good or healthy for my mental health, first of all, and dealing with a lot of institutional systemic barriers, racism and structures, and homophobia, and inequitable pay, and unfair treatment, and all of that. So I graduated with my master's in 2018. I graduated from the University of South Carolina School of Social Work. Go Gamecocks. And that was a lot. Conversation for another day. But I obtained my MSW, my Master's in Social Work degree. And I became a licensed Master of Social Work, and I worked at a host of different facilities, medical facilities, FQHCs, Ryan White program, which is a federal grant funded program that provides services to people living with HIV. I worked in mental health facilities, and one thing I found very early on, so I graduated in 2018. I got a job prior to graduating. God is good. And I began working immediately after graduation. So this is 2018. In about 2019, I was in a new facility at a new facility. I joined a whole new company. So I went from a hospital setting to working specifically in a FQHC setting. So doctor's office, clinic, healthcare setting as a medical social worker. And in doing that, 2019, I was like, baby, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work because, you know, I worked hard. I dedicated most, if not all, of my teens and 20s. Didn't have a summer at that time until like 2019, 2020 was my first summer break in years at that point. So yeah, it was just a lot of non-negotiables that I had. Like, again, playing with my money, you know, trying to gaslight, manipulate me because y'all have constructs and policies that are racist and discriminatory, and then trying to humiliate me and attempting to retaliate against me if I report or complain or I ask to discuss these things because I'm a social worker who has a license in 3 degrees, and I'm a doctor and I'm a psychologist. This isn't right. So yeah, I was like, I gotta get out of here. And I wanted to be very intentional. So one of the things I began to focus on, even in the time that I was at a job that I was completely burnt out. I was calling out of work, not going, in a lot of debt because I was not going. It was a lot on my mental health. So I began to shift my focus. Like, okay, I love what I do. I just don't love where I'm doing it at. I can become a business. I'm competent. Let me figure this out. And I can do what I'm doing under my own LLC or under my own nonprofit 501c3. Like, let's figure this out. And I began to do that. And it was a journey because it was a lot. Like, it was a lot. But I'm grateful because it led me to why I meditate, because the first business I built was Got Results, my nonprofit organization, which is a sexual health organization that provides comprehensive evidence-based sexual health education. Follow at Got Results ORG on all platforms. So that was the first business I established. And in that nonprofit world, it's a whole nother beast because some of us inspired to be tax exempt, which is a process with Uncle Sam. So I learned a lot. So I had the opportunity in a very, very testing, almost dark time in my life. Like, I had to really be intentional about shifting my mindset. So that's when I began to meditate more and really figure this out, right? So then COVID happened and quarantine happened. So more time to think, more time to meditate, which is where why I meditate was birthed during COVID as I'm working on these things. And one of the things that I'm so grateful for is I began to meet a lot of mentors, a lot of millionaires, multi-millionaires, like social workers, doctors, lawyers, Black, melanated, that was so humble to mentor me. And it humbles me. It really, really humbles me. And I'm forever indebted to share, because they would pull up their bank accounts like, I'm not just telling you something just to tell you, son. Like, you can do this. They would show me their Wells Fargo, and it was a lot of digits that I ain't never seen before. So I'm like, okay. And they gave me tools and principles. And one of the things that they gave me, among all that I met, and I have at least 6 to 7 that I really revere, and to this day they mentor and they help me. But at that particular time, my mindset was shifting, and I would meditate, and learning that meditation and mindfulness meditation specifically is all about observing without judgment. It's all about awareness without judgment, excuse me. It's all about observing your thoughts without judgment. So I would sit and I would notice a lot of times the thoughts I would have were fear-based. And I began to notice that these things were hindering me. These thoughts were hindering me. So Meditation is a way, deep breathing, affirmations, journaling, intentional writing, intentional goal setting, intentional action is a way that helped me move past those fears. But especially meditating, just observing the thoughts and remembering that, wait a minute, you survived not one, not two, but 3 degrees. You survived Psych 497, Dr. Joan Pyrock, if you know, you know, Coastal Carolina, if you know, you know, Coastal Carolina University, psych majors, if you know, you know. You survived Dr. Joan Pyrock's Psych 497. There's pretty much nothing you can't do, Antwan. Breathe. Find the answers and take the steps and ask the questions. And shout out to all my mentors. But one of the things that I noticed that fear would show up a lot, and I began to think to myself, okay, I also noticed that all of my mentors talk about fear, that sometimes when they're on stage or they're on podcasts or they make certain business decisions or certain deals, they experience feelings of fear, but they still pursue, they still persist, they still go forward, they still do it, and they still have 6 and 7 figure bank accounts with the fear. So I want to encourage you all, if you have a goal, if you have something that you're currently focusing on, please don't allow fear to hinder you. Use it as a way to fuel your ambition and your drive. Fear less. We will never experience a life that is absence of trials, fears, setbacks, heartache, pain, death, all of the negative things that in reality happen. But we can control how we respond to these things, so that when we show up and when we respond in a way that's healthy, where we cope in a way that's healthy, we self-soothe in a way that's healthy, because these things, including fear, will continue to arise in our life. We just have to learn again how to cope and self-soothe in a positive way. So one of the things I learned along this entrepreneurial journey is fear is going to arise, Antwan. You have to take a deep breath, remember your goals, take some time to regroup, refocus, if you will, reset your intentions, but do not allow fear to stop you. Fear less. So the more you face them, the more you look at them, the more you say, hey boo, how you doing? You want to get on this camera with me? You want to go on this podcast with me? You want to send this email asking for a grant with me? You want to figure out how to use this AI with me? You want to talk to this new person about my product with me? Bring it with you. It's okay. Don't let it paralyze you. You're in control. You can control how you respond to the fear. You can't control sometimes the trigger or the things that cause these adverse feelings of fear and these setbacks and these trials and tribulations. We can't control that, but we can control how we respond, how we self-soothe, how we cope with them. And I encourage you, take it from me. I wasted so much time in fear and in doubt and insecurity and in the what they gonna think, who gonna support me, who ain't supporting me, the money I don't have, what I don't have. And it's like, child, whatever. You will sit there and rot, and 5 years will pass, you won't have any progress, you'll be broke, you'll be broken, you won't be in your purpose. Don't allow fear to hinder you. Let the fear fuel you. Let it gently push you towards where you're going. Because in the end, fear is not only a liar and lying to you and it's an illusion. Fear is also an indicator that whatever you are seeking is seeking you. And whatever you're doing and the journey you're on and that goal you want and that person you want to become is who you are meant to be and what you're meant to have and the purpose you're meant to, the divine purpose that you're meant to walk in. And that fear is, the perfection that sometimes comes also with that, which is fear-based, is because you care. Because you really, really care. Because you really, really want to do it. Because you really, really see it happening for yourself. That's the only reason why you're afraid. but don't let it paralyze you and don't let it hinder you. So on this Focus Friday, don't focus on your fear. Focus on your faith. Focus on your goals. Focus on yourself. Focus on your mind. Focus on your mental health. Stay hydrated. Tell yourself good things. Remember your affirmations. Be your affirmations. Be that peace, that love, that worthiness, that wealth that you speak and you seek. Be it. So don't focus on your fear. So in concluding, have faith over fear. I want to encourage you all to do it with the fear. Don't allow your dreams to be hindered because of fear. Don't allow the beautiful person that you are in your evolution to be hindered because of fear. We need you. And that's what I want to create with Why I Meditate, and especially this segment, Focus Friday, is like I said, a space for us to talk about those things and connect and still do it. To breathe, support each other, coach each other and guide each other and push each other in in spite of the fear. And another thing that I hope that I remind you all, and that you all know, that your goals and that thing that you want and that person that you want to be is within, not only with arm's reach, but it's who you were born to be, okay? So don't let fear hinder you. In concluding this Focus Friday, I want to share with you all that I have a very, very exciting project I've been working on. And again, it's it coincides with Focus Friday, but it's a space for us to connect. For those of you who have any sort of entrepreneurial goals, especially my social workers and my behavioral health clinicians and entrepreneurs, period. If you want to start a business or have a business idea, or you want to start a nonprofit organization and you don't know where to start or how to start, connect with me. Send me an email, DM me. I want to help you. If you have a platform, if you have a podcast, if you have whatever your service, whatever your field is, whatever your business is, share it in the comment section. I want to know, I want to follow, I want to subscribe, I want to buy your products, I want to support you, I want to connect with you. So that's all I have for this Focus Friday. I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I also hope that you ease into your new week with self-care and intentionally take care of yourself on this Self-Care Saturday that's upcoming and Self-Care Sunday. And I look forward to connecting with you all soon. And I'm out. I love you. Peace.